Vandeyam Shri Gurun Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajantam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Rana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Scha Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanachana Shilaka Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurkam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Abhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwaguruncha Divyat Bhagavat Premna Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Shailanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Sarasatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Bansha Kalpatarubhyas Chakripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami with translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Antya-lila chapter 18, Rescuing the Lord from the Sea. Sharad Joshna Sindur Avakalanaya Jata Yamuna Sharad Joshna Sindur Avakalanaya Jata Yamuna Brahmad Davan Yosmin Hariviraha Taparnavaiva Nimagno Murchala Payasi Nivasan Ratrim Akilam Prabhate Prapta Swar Avatu Sa Shachi Sunur Ihanaha. In the brilliant autumn moonlight, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mistook the sea for the river Yamuna. Greatly afflicted by separation from Krishna, he ran and dove into the sea and remained unconscious in the water the entire night. In the morning he was found by his personal devotees. May that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi, protect us by his transcendental pastimes. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gauravakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Emate Mahaprabhu Nila Chale Vaise Ratri Dine Krishna Viche Dharnava Bhase. While thus living at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu floated all day and night in an ocean of separation from Krishna. While thus living at Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu floated all day and night in an ocean of separation from Krishna. Sharaj Kalera Ratri Sab Chandrika Ujwal Prabhu Nijagana Loya Vedana Ratri Sakal. During a night of the autumn season, when a full moon brightened everything, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered all night long with his devotees. Ujjane Ujjane Brahmena Kautuka Dekite rasa-lila Gita Shloka Padite Shunite. He walked from garden to garden, sing the pastimes of Lord Krishna in hearing and reciting songs and verses concerning the rasa-lila. Prabhu Prema Veshe Koren Gananartan Kabu Baba Beshe Rasa Lila Nukaran. He sang and danced in ecstatic love and sometimes imitated the rasa dance in emotional ecstasy. Kabu Bhavon Made Prabhu Iti Utidai Bhume pade kabu, murcha kabu gade jai. He sometimes ran here and there in the madness of ecstasy, and sometimes fell and rolled on the ground. Sometimes he became completely unconscious. Rasa-lila rek shlok jabe pade shune purvavat tabe arta korana apane. When he heard Swarup Damodar recite a verse concerning the rasa-lila, or he himself recited one, he would personally explain it as he had previously done. Emata rasa-lilaya hoy jata shlok sabara arta kore paya kabu harsha shok. In this way, he explained the meaning of all the verses concerning the rasa-lila. Sometimes he would be very sad and sometimes very happy. Say sab shlokararta, say sab bikar, say sab varnite granta hoy ati vistar. To explain fully all those verses and all the transformations that took place in the Lord's body would require a very large volume. Dwarasha vatsare jj lila kane kane ati bahuya baye granta nakoilun likane. So as not to increase the size of this book, I have not written about all the Lord's pastimes, for he performed them every moment of every day for 12 years. Purveje dekanachi digdarshan Taiche Janiya Vikar Pralapa Barnan. As I previously indicated, I am describing the mad speeches and bodily transformations of the Lord only in brief. Sahasra Bharane Jabe Kahaye Ananda Ekdinara Lilara Kabunahi Payanta. If Ananta, with his 1,000 hoods, tried to describe even one day's pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would find them impossible to describe fully. So even Ananta says, who has 1,000 heads, 1,000 mouths, even if he used all his mouths, he could not describe even one day of the Lord's pastimes. Koti Juga Parjanta Jari Likaye Ganesh Ek Diner Lilar Tabu Nahi Pai Sesh. If Ganesh, Lord Shiva's son, and the expert scribe of the demigods, tried for millions of millenniums to fully describe one day of the Lord's pastimes, he would be unable to find their limit. Bhaktera prema vikar deki Krishnara chamatkar Krishna jarana pai anta keva char ar. Even Lord Krishna is struck with wonder at seeing the transformations of ecstasy in his devotees. If Krishna himself cannot estimate the limits of such emotions, how could others? Even Lord Krishna is struck with wonder at seeing the transformations of ecstasy in his devotees. If Krishna himself cannot estimate the limits of such emotions, how could others? Bhakta Premara Jata Dasha Jagati Prakar Jata Dukkha Jata Sukha Jateka Vikar Krishna Taha Samyak Naparijanite Bhakta Bhava Angikore Taha Ashwadite. Krishna himself cannot fully understand the conditions, the mode of progress, the happiness and unhappiness, and the moods of ecstatic love of his devotees. He therefore accepts the role of a devotee to taste these emotions fully. Krishnare nachai prema, bhaktere nachai, apane nachaye, tine nache ektai. Ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance, and it also dances personally. In this way, all three dance together in one place. Krishna dances and his devotees dance And the ecstatic love of Krishna also dances. Ecstatic love of Krishna makes Krishna and his devotees dance, and it also dances personally. In this way, all three dance together in one place. Premara vikar bharnite chahe jay jan, chandadarite chahe jena hoya paman. When he wants to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna, is like a dwarf trying to catch the moon in the sky. So this is an analogy that comes up in the Chaitanya Charitamrita of a dwarf trying to catch the moon. Even a normal-sized person, it's impossible to catch the moon, but what to speak of a dwarf, a small person. One who wants to describe the transformations of ecstatic love of Krishna is like a dwarf trying to catch the moon in the sky. Vayu jaiche sindhu jaler hare ekan Krishna prema hanataiche jivera sparshan. As the wind can carry away but a drop of the water in the ocean, a living entity can touch only a particle of the ocean of love of Krishna. Kane kane ute primara tarangananta jivachara kahantara paibeka anta. Endless waves arise moment after moment in that ocean of love. How could an insignificant living entity estimate their limits? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Jaha Korana Aswadan Sabe Ek Janitaha Swarupadigan. Only a person on the level of Swarup Damodar Goswami can fully know what Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes in his love for Krishna. Only a person so elevated like Swarup Damodar can fully know what Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes in his love for Krishna. Jiva haya kore jay tahara varnan apana shodite tara chonye ekan. When an ordinary living entity describes the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he purifies himself by touching one drop of that great ocean. Emata rasara shlok sakalye ipadila seshe jala kelera shloka parite lagila emata rasara shlok sakala ipadila seshe jala kelera shloka parite lagila. Thus all the verses about the rasa-lila dance were recited. Then finally, the verse concerning the pastimes in the water was recited. Taber juta shraman apohitum angasanga. Taber juta shraman apohitum angashanga. Grishta shraja sakucha kunkuma ranjitaya. Gandharva balibir anudruta avishadvaha shranto gajibir iba rad iva binasetu. As an independent leader among elephants enters the water with his female elephants, Krishna, who is transcendental to the Vedic principles of morality, entered the water of the Yamuna with the gopis. His chest had brushed against their breasts, crushing his flower garland and coloring it with red kumkum powder. Attracted by the fragrance of that garland, humming bumblebees followed Krishna like celestial beings of Gandharva Loka. In this way, Lord Krishna mitigated the fatigue of the rasa dance. E mata Mahaprabhu brahmite brahmite Aitota hoite samudra dekina chambite. While thus wandering near the temple of Aitota, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly saw the sea. Chandrakante uchalita taranga ujwal jalamala kore jena Yamuna jal. Brightened by the shining light of the moon, the high waves of the sea glittered like the waters of the river Yamuna. Jamunara Brahme Prabhu Daya Chalila Alakite Jai Sindhu Jale Japadila. Mistaking the sea for the Yamuna, the Lord ran swiftly and jumped into the water, unseen by the others. Parite hoila murcha kichuina jane Kabul Dubai Kabul Bashaya Tarangera Gane. Falling into the sea, he lost consciousness and could not understand where he was. Sometimes he sank beneath the waves, and sometimes he floated above them. Falling into the sea, he lost consciousness and could not understand where he was. Sometimes he sank beneath the waves, and sometimes he floated above them. Tarange vahiya fire jena shushka kashta jebujite pare e Chaitanya Ranata. The waves carried him here and there like a piece of dry wood. Who can understand this dramatic performance by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Konarkera dike prabhure tarange loya jai Kabul Dubaya rake Kabul Bashana loya jai. Keeping the Lord sometimes submerged and sometimes afloat, the waves carried him toward the Konark temple. Konark, generally known as Arkatirtha, is a temple of Lord Surya, the sun god. It is situated on the seashore, 19 miles north of Jagannath Puri. It was constructed of black stone in the beginning of the 13th century of the Shaka era, and it shows expert craftsmanship in architecture. So it's 19 miles north of Jagannath Puri. Jamunate Jalakeli Gopigana Sange Krishna Korin Mahaprabhu Magna Range. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fully merged in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, performed with the gopis in the waters of the Yamuna. Ihan Swaruparigan Prabhu Nadakiya Kahangela Prabhu Kahej Chamatkita Hoya. Meanwhile, all the devotees, headed by Swarup Damodar, lost sight of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Astonished, they began searching for him, asking, "Where has the Lord gone?" Manu Bege Gela Prabhu Dekite Narila Prabhu Rena Dekiya Samshaya Korite Lagila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had run off at the speed of the mind. No one could see him, thus everyone was puzzled as to his whereabouts. Jagannath Dekite Kiba Devaloye Gela Anya Ujjane Kiba Unmade Parila. Has the Lord gone to the temple of Jagannath, or has he fallen down in madness in some garden? Gundicha Mandire Gela Kiva Narendra Re. Gundicha Mandire Gela Kiva Narendra Re. Chatak Parvate Gela Kiba Konar Kare. Perhaps he went to the Gundicha temple, or to Lake Narendra, or to the Chatak Parvat. Maybe he went to the temple of Konark. Etaboli sabe pire prabhure chahiya samudrera tire aila kata jana loya. Talking like this, the devotees wandered here and there looking for the Lord. Finally, they came to the shore, accompanied by many others. Chahiye badaite aiche ratrise shoila Antardana Hoila Prabhu Nischai Korila. While they were searching for the Lord, the night ended, and thus they all decided, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has now disappeared. So they think Mahaprabhu has left this world. Prabhora vichede kara dehi nahi pran anishta shanka bina kara mani nahi an. In separation from the Lord, everyone felt as though he had lost his very life. The devotees concluded that there must have been some mishap. They could not think of anything else. Anishta shankine bandhu hridayani bhavantihi. A relative or intimate friend is always fearful of some injury to his beloved. Samudra tirayashi jukate korila chirayu parvadike kata janagela. When they arrived at the seashore, they conferred among themselves, and some of them sought out Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Chatak Parvat. Purva dishaya chale Swarup loya katajan Sindhu tire nire korin prabhura anbeshan. Swarup Damodar proceeded east with others, looking for the Lord on the beach or in the water. Vishade bivala sabe nahika chaitanya tabu preme bule kori prabhura anveshan. Everyone was overwhelmed with moroseness and almost unconscious, but out of ecstatic love they continued to wander here and there, searching for the Lord. Dekena eg jaliya aise kande jalakori hase kande nache gai bole hari hari. Passing along the beach, they saw a fisherman approaching with his net over his shoulder, laughing, crying, dancing, and singing. He kept repeating the holy name, Hari, Hari. Jaliyara Cheshta Dekis Sabar Chamatkar Swarup Gosai Tare Puchana Samachar. Seeing the activities of the fisherman, everyone was astonished. Swarup Damodar Goswami therefore asked him for information. Kaha jaliya e dike dekila ek jan tomara e dasha kene kahata karan. My dear fisherman, he said, why are you behaving like this? Have you seen someone hereabouts? What is the cause of your behavior? Please tell us. Jaliya kohe ihan ek manusha na dekila jal bahite ek mritak mora jali aila. The fisherman replied, I have not seen a single person here, but while casting my net in the water, I captured a dead body. Boramacha boliami utailun jatane mritak dekite mor baya hoilamane. I lifted it with great care, thinking it a big fish, but as soon as I saw that it was a corpse, great fear arose in my mind. Jala kashai tetara anga sparsha hoila sparsha matre se bhuta hridaye pasila. As I tried to release the net, I touched the body, and as soon as I touched it, a ghost entered my heart. Baye kampa hoila mor netre bahejao gadgarabani Roma utila sakal. I shivered in fear. I shivered in fear and shed tears. My voice faltered, and all the hairs on my body stood up. Kiba Brahma Daitya Kiba Bhuta Kane Najai Darshana Matre Manushera Paishi se kai. I do not know whether the corpse I found was the ghost of a dead Brahmin, a Brahmadaitya, or an ordinary man, but as soon as one looks upon it, the ghost enters his body. As soon as one looks at that ghost enters into one's body. Sharira dighalatara hatapanchashat ekeka hastaparatara teen hat. The body of the ghost is very long, 5 to 7 cubits. Each of its arms and legs is as much as 3 cubits long. 1 cubit approximately equals 1.5 feet. So 5 to 7 cubits long, which means 7.5 to 10.5 feet long. The body of that ghost, and each of its arms is about 4.5 feet long. Asti sande chutile charma korinara bore tahadeke prana kara nahi rohe dade. The joints are all separated beneath the skin, which is completely slack. No one could see it and remain alive in his body. So all the bones are separated and they're just held together by skin of that ghost. Mararup dori rohe utayanayan kabu gon kore kabu rahe achitan. That ghost has taken the form of a corpse, but he keeps his eyes open. Sometimes he utters the sound, gone, gone, and sometimes he remains unconscious. Saka deke chon more paila se boot, mui moele mora kaiche, jive stri put. I have seen that ghost directly, and he is haunting me. But if I die, who will take care of my wife and children? Seta bhutera kata kahana najai ojatai chaichon jadi se bhuta charai. That ghost is certainly very difficult to talk about. But I am going to find an exorcist and ask him if he can release me from it. Ekratre bule matsya mariye nirjane bhuta preta marana lage nashinga smarane. I wander alone at night, killing fish in solitary places, but because I remember the hymns of Lord Nrsinga, ghosts do not touch me. E bhut Nrsinga name chapaye dvigune tahara kara dekite by lage mane. This ghost, however, overcomes me with redoubled strength when I chant the Nrsinga mantra. When I even see the form of this ghost, great fear arises in my mind. So normally I'm protected from ghosts by chanting the Nrsinga mantra. But when I chant the Nrsinga mantra, this ghost attacks me even more strongly. Otana jaiha amini shedi tomare tahangele se boot lagibe sabare. Do not go there. I forbid you. If you go, that ghost will catch you all. Etashuni Swarup Gosai Sab Tattva Jani Jali Jare Kabukai Samu Duravani. Hearing this, Swarup Damodar could understand the full truth of the matter. He spoke sweetly to the fisherman. Ami Bora Oja Jani Bhuta Charaite Mantra Padi Sri Hasta Dila Tahara Matate. I am a famous exorcist, he said, and I know how to rid you of this ghost. He then chanted some mantras and placed his hand on top of the fisherman's head. Tin chaparamare kahe bhuta palaila bayana paiha bole sustira korila. You slapped the fisherman 3 times and said, "Now the ghost has gone away. Do not be afraid." By saying this, he pacified the fisherman. Ek prema arebai dviguna astir maya amsha gela se hoila kichudira. The fisherman was affected by ecstatic love, but he was also fearful. He had thus become doubly agitated. Now that his fear had subsided, however, he had become somewhat normal. Swarup kohe jhare tumi kora bhuta gyan bhuta nahe teho Krishna Chaitanya Bhagavan. Swarup Damodar said to the fisherman, "My dear sir, the person you are thinking is a ghost is not actually a ghost, but is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's actually, who you're thinking is a ghost is Lord Krishna Chaitanya. Premaveshi padilateho samudrera jale tare tumi utaila apanara jale." Because of ecstatic love, the Lord fell into the sea, and you have caught him in your net and rescued him. Tara sparshe hoila tomar Krishna premodoi bhuta preta gyane tomar hoila mahabai. Simply touching him has awakened your dormant love of Krishna, but because you thought him a ghost, you were very much afraid of him. Ebe bai gela tomar mana hoila stire kahan tare utanacha dekaha amare. Now that your fear is gone and your mind is peaceful, please show me where he is. Jaliya kohe prabhure dekachon barbar teho nahen ati bikrita akar. The fisherman replied, "I have seen the Lord many times, but this is not he. This body is very much deformed." Swarup kohe tara hoy primara vikar asti sandi chari hoy ati dirgakar. Swarup Damodar said, "The Lord's body becomes transformed in his love for God and his Krishna prem. Sometimes the joints of his body separate and his body becomes very much elongated. Shuni se jaliya anandita hoila sabaloya gela prabhure dekaila." Hearing this, the fisherman became very happy. He brought all the devotees with him and showed them Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhumite pariyache prabhu dirga sabkai jali shweta tanu balu lagi jachegai. The Lord was lying on the ground, his body elongated and bleached white by the water. He was covered from head to foot with sand. Ati dirga shitila tanu charma natkai durapata utaya gare anananajar. The Lord's body was stretched and his skin was slack and hanging loose. To lift him and take him the long distance home would have been impossible. Ardra kopina dura kori shushka parana bahirvase sholaila baluka charaya. The devotees removed his wet coping, his wet undergarment, and replaced it with a dry one, then laying the Lord on an outer cloth that cleansed the sand from his body. Sabimele uchakore korana sankirtane uchakore Krishna nama kohena prabhurakane. They all performed sankirtan, loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna into the Lord's ear. Katakane prabhura kane shabda parashila hunkara koriya prabhu tabahi utila. After some time, the sound of the holy name entered the ears of the Lord, who immediately got up, making a great noise. Hunkar, making a loud noise, the Lord got up. utile ashti sab lagila nijastane ardavaye iti uti koranandarshane. As soon as he got up, his bodies assumed their proper places. With half external consciousness, the Lord looked here and there. Teen dashaya Mahaprabhu rohena sarvaka antardasha bayadash arda baya ar. The Lord remained in one of three different states of consciousness at all times: internal, external, and half external. Antardashara kichu gora kichu baya gyan se dasha kahe bhakta arda baya nam. When the Lord was deeply absorbed in internal consciousness, but he nevertheless exhibited some external consciousness, devotees called his condition ardabhaya, or half external consciousness. Ardabhaye Kohen Prabhu Pralapa Bachane Akarshe Kohena Prabhu Shunena Bhakta Gane. In this half external consciousness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked like a madman. The devotees could distinctly hear him speaking to the sky. Kalindi dekiyame kelaya Vrindaban dekijala krita koran brajendra nandan. Sing the river Yamuna, he said. I went to Vrindaban. There I saw the son of Nanda Maharaj performing his sporting pastimes in the water. Radhikari Gopigan Sange Ekatrameli Jamunara Jale Maharange Korana Keli. Lord Krishna was in the water of the Yamuna in the company of the gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani. They were performing pastimes in a great sporting manner. Tire rohi dekiyame sakigan sange eksaki sakigane dekaya shirange. I saw this pastime as I stood on the bank of the Yamuna in the company of the gopis. One gopi was showing some of the other gopis the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in the water. Patabastra alankare samarpiya sakikore shukma shukla bastra paridan Krishna loya kantagan koila jala vagan jalakeli rachila shutama. All the gopis entrusted their silken garments and ornaments to the care of their friends, and then put on fine white cloth. Lord Krishna, taking his beloved gopis with him, bathed and performed very nice pastimes in the water of the Yamuna. I'm going to save something for tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll continue. We'll hear the Lord's explanation of what he saw in the water of the Yamuna of Krishna with the gopis. So tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, now we're done. Go. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimaru Sudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranamon Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Jaradhara Shiva Sari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jarupa Sanatan Bhakta Yamuna Sri Jiva Gopala Bhaja Dasa Raguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Gaoite Vignana Shavista Puran Jai Gosai Jarmui Taragan Kasavar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Pada Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivan Pada Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivan Janame Janame More Amira Hey Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaje Koilabas Radha Krishna Antya-lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Hare Nam Sankirtana Kore Naratamona Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya Hare Nam Sankirtana Kore Naratamona Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Rama, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhara Juki Jai Tadiya Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Nirmamacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neriya Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Chariyashtatara Sadasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Chariyashtatara Sadasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sunanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnu Pad Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunashi Jiva Gopal Bhattadash Raghunash Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Brahmasigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Bhima Avadup Maharaj Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Namadip Dham Ki Jai Shri Mayapur Ki Jai Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Saparshada Shri Man Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Koladvip Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai Sokel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai Ganga Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Vrindaban Dham Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kun Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Madam Ki Jai Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju Ki Jai Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev ki jai, Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Pad Bhakti Raman Madhav Maharaj ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, all the eastern and western devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande
Jai Vishnu Pad Shila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj ki jai.